trouble for things they say on this site?
Well, so far, no. Like I said, I mean, what I'm demonstrating, what I'm proving is there you can't get a judge, you can't pay a judge to make a decision about any of this stuff. So it's all still Wild West, and until there's some sort of um, explicit rule, nobody could get in real trouble. So the word real trouble kind of gets irrelevant. I mean, there has to first be case law before anybody can be held to any kind of standard. So it's so broken that even if you did something that was found to be against the law, I don't think there could be any penalty for it just because the law is so ambiguous now that nobody can be held accountable for violating law that hasn't been written, essentially, or hasn't been defined. You can't say you were wrong when no one was saying you were wrong. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like they say that not knowing the law is no excuse, but it's always an excuse. So every time somebody walks into court and say I didn't know, they usually win. I mean, ignorance is a very good excuse.
Ignorance in itself sets the precedent for more ignorance. And, well, I mean, there's so many laws on the books these days that, I mean, what can you do, right?
Well, there aren't that. Like I said, I just don't think there is that much law, not coherent law, and that's part of the problem. I mean, the principles should be kind of, they should mean something, and it's like there's just no principles here, you know. Uh, and that sucks, I think. I mean, I don't think that does the
Yeah.
environment any good. I
What?
mean, I don't think it's free
What?
speech. I don't think you do any good for free speech by creating an environment where people are afraid to speak. Okay, I mean, if you're going to be vulnerable to thousands of crank phone calls or some other intrusion into your personal life because you made a YouTube video, well, guess what? That's going to discourage a few people from making YouTube videos. They're going to see that experience and say, shit, I don't want that to happen to me.
Yeah, but the government itself does that. I mean, if you go to
There's
a court
also
case
that
that
issue
4 years
of
ago, they
jurisdiction because I
the police
know
would stop
as a
you.
Canadian, there's no way your government is putting their hands on me if I make a video about you. You know, when you
Well,
got
it's not
people
a matter of
talking
the
to each other
government
across
having to. It's
countries,
the fact
which
is those.
government's gonna
No,
hold
no.
people
See, you're
accountable?
wrong. You're wrong. Okay, because when you sign up with YouTube, you agree that if somebody files a DMCA and to keep your account, you have to basically agree to United States court jurisdiction. So if somebody ever DMCA'd one of your videos, you would have to agree to United States jurisdiction, or else you're going to have your account closed. Okay, but you can't counter notice unless you do. So your video's going down or your account's going down, but one of those two things are going to happen if you don't agree to United States court jurisdiction.
I guess what I'm referring to are offenses that would sort of get me in another realm outside of YouTube. If I say something about some big businessman and it ends up costing him a lot of money, and he tries to take me and do some criminal proceedings that have nothing to do with YouTube, I guess your government in that instance couldn't come and bite me in the ass, even if YouTube kicks me off.
They
I
can
know,
and
but
can't.
your own law can be used against you in that case. So I mean, somebody can still file in Canada against you as a foreigner. So I mean, they could still get to you with your own law. I mean, it's not like you're free to do whatever the fuck you want. But the point is you're pretty damn free, okay? Because there's no example of anybody suspending any of that freedom. I mean, every example so far has kind of gone the other way. That you know, I think even Encyclopedia Dramatica, if somebody ever does file a lawsuit against them, they're probably going to be allowed to do what they're doing, and I think what they're doing is completely, insanely wrong. you know.
Who's Encyclopedia Dramatica?
Yeah, well, Google it and you'll find out. Um, But yeah, I mean, it's just this idea. I mean, it's just a website that takes characters like me, anybody who has any kind of notoriety on the internet, and it creates pages, and it just puts a bunch of crap on the page. And if they got a picture of your anus or something, they'll put that up, and whatever they got, or whatever they can make up. And, and yeah, they do a hatchet job on people. And yeah, it's not about free speech. It's not about some kind of truth. It's just about you know, um, maligning and slandering and degrading people with cheap and useless crap. I mean, so it just doesn't. There's just no value to it at all. There's no counterpoint value. It's not doing a service. It's just using people's notoriety and exploiting it, and it's just as cheap as it comes.
Yeah, people say they avoid getting into politics all the time, especially with the internet around these days, because shit like that gets around a lot easier. But to me, it's kind of like I start to figure, if the skeletons are coming out of the closet all around the board, I think maybe just everybody's gonna get used to this kind of demeaning, maligning bullshit because everybody's gonna be degraded, you know?
I know, but I still don't think it's something it's worth avoiding if you can avoid it. I'm just saying a few simple rules maybe to keep people within some kind of boundary of the truth would be in order. I mean, you just shouldn't be allowed to yell pedophile. You can't go on the street just point your finger, go pedophile, pedophile, or some kind of wife beater, wife beater. I mean, it's just it is really. I mean, you're just really not allowed to play that game. Like, when was the last time you beat your wife? I mean, you should be allowed not to be asked that question unless somebody has a reason to ask it.
Yeah, you probably grew some tough skin since you joined up on YouTube, eh?
Yeah, well, I guess, but I mean, I'm almost more emphatic about some things. I'm almost less tolerant of some shit because it's like, oh yeah, please. I mean, hasn't it already been said? Hasn't it already been done? So when it gets like so redundant, it's like any time somebody brings up, the similarity between me and the guy from the stupid Cher movie, that mask thing or whatever it was called, whatever his name is. I mean, I automatically just block the fucker because it's like, god damn. I mean, 3 years they've been telling that joke. I mean, that's just an old joke now. You gotta do better than that. Old joke now.
Who's that guy? I thought Willem Dafoe. I mentioned him in the video I made about you, and I find a lot of similarities. Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, well, somebody's got a picture. I'm just look. Yeah, type in Rocky Dennis into fucking goddamn Google and go to the image search, and you'll get lots of pictures of him. And then you'll say, "Hi, hey, it does kind of look like him," And then so. But the thing is, too, I also look like the guy from that stupid Lion movie, whatever the hell that was. And he got the girl in the end, so that was good.
I always felt you had an Ultimate Warrior quality about you, Gary.
Yeah, right. I always thought you had like a concentration camp survivor kind of quality about you. Uh, yeah,
It's good for acting
Ultimate
work
Warrior.
because whenever there's an Auschwitz or a Holocaust film coming up, I get instant extra work. They just reproduce me using graphics, and I save them a fortune. And it gets you free tickets to Disneyland too.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
funny.
he does look like him.
Sad but true. Ah, Remy. I haven't seen him for a whole week. Yeah, doing good. Overdocked, good. Ha ha. Room's overdocked. Ha ha. Yeah, well, not much. Same old shit, basically.